Imagine holding the future of surveillance and manipulation in the palm of your hand. Your phone, the device you trust for everything from personal photos to private messages, now holds the power to know you better than you know yourself. But here's the twist. It's doing this without you even noticing. The next generation AI chips in your phone aren't there to make games run smoother. They're silently observing your every move, every keystroke, and every pattern of behavior. Apple's A17 Pro, Google's Tensor G5, Qualcomm's Snapdragon X2 Elite. These aren't just processors. They're neural engines designed to analyze your emotions, health, and even predict what you'll do next. And this is just the beginning. What if I told you that these AI chips, masquerading as privacy-enhancing features, are actually building a profile of you? A digital twin that could reveal your deepest secrets, emotional state, and even future vulnerabilities? It's not a sci-fi dystopia. It's the reality inside your pocket. And it's happening right now. Boo. What really happens when this information leaks? When these invisible inferences are silently transmitted across the web, and who's really watching? The truth might be more chilling than you think. In the quest for smarter, more efficient devices, tech giants have quietly embedded a powerful surveillance infrastructure inside your smartphone. The hardware behind it, the neural processing units, or NPUs, that power the AI capabilities you see advertised, on-device facial recognition, smarter photo organization, even more accurate voice assistance. These chips aren't just improving your user experience. They're continuously collecting data about you. Apple's A17 Pro is designed to perform 35 trillion operations per second. Qualcomm's Snapdragon X2 Elite, a staggering 80 tops, making it a beast of AI-driven inference. These NPUs are optimized for a constant operation, analyzing every action you make without draining your battery. And the most alarming part? They never stop running. Every tap on your screen, every conversation you have, every movement you make is analyzed in real time. Your device is listening to your voice, tracking your health, predicting your behavior. This is not a future concept. It's the current state of smartphone technology. And no one is really talking about it. The stakes are high. The line between convenience and privacy has blurred beyond recognition. What happens when companies, who already profit from collecting data, take it a step further and monetize your emotional and behavioral data? Are we entering a world where your phone knows you better than your friends, and every move is silently tracked, analyzed, and manipulated? This isn't just a privacy concern. It's about control, autonomy, and the very fabric of trust in the digital age. Let's take a deeper dive into what these on-device AI chips are really doing. You're told that all this data processing happens locally, and that's supposed to be a good thing. Your data never leaves your device. The marketing assures you. But here's the twist. It doesn't need to. While no raw data may be transmitted, the inferences these devices make about you are still shockingly revealing. Think about it. Smartphones today don't just know what you're doing. They're starting to predict why you're doing it. From how you type, to what you watch, to how you move, these devices are constructing an evolving digital twin of your life. And that's where the real power lies. Imagine this. Your phone doesn't need to know the exact content of your private messages to infer your emotional state. Keystroke timing can reveal when you're stressed or anxious. Voice analysis can detect if you're intoxicated, depressed, or simply tired. App usage can uncover financial instability, health issues, even your political leanings. Every inference made, even without explicitly gathering raw data, creates an increasingly accurate behavioral profile, a mirror of you, constructed by AI. And the most disturbing part? These inferences are not as private as you think. Federated learning, the method claimed to preserve privacy by sending only model updates, still leaks pattern-of-life metadata. Researchers have proven that these model updates, designed to aggregate learning across devices, can still reconstruct personal data. Gradient attacks have already shown that data can be leaked through these updates, even if raw data is never transmitted. Essentially, the AI is learning your most intimate details, and that knowledge is potentially being sent elsewhere despite the privacy-preserving rhetoric. And it gets worse. Law enforcement is already tapping into this technology, legally or not. Device seizure, a routine procedure at many international borders, can now extract the very AI models and inferences from your device. Whether it's the US or China, these models can be accessed and analyzed. With tech companies like Apple already setting privacy precedents by sharing iCloud data in China, this surveillance infrastructure isn't as private as you think. Are you okay with that? Because your phone could be quietly compiling your darkest secrets, and you wouldn't even know. To truly understand the stakes, we need to hear from the experts who have been studying this technology from the inside out. Cybersecurity researchers, privacy advocates, and tech insiders are all raising alarms about what's really happening behind the scenes. These chips are not just smart assistants. They are sophisticated surveillance devices embedded in the palm of your hand. Take Dr. Alice Norton, a leading AI ethicist who has spent years researching neural network vulnerabilities. She explains that the real danger isn't the data that's transmitted. It's the inferences that are being drawn without us knowing. She points out that these chips, while optimized for privacy at first glance, are still processing vast quantities of personal data, continually analyzing everything about your behavior, your health, your emotional state, and more. For example, take voice analysis. When your phone listens to you, whether during a call or even when it's idle, it's not just transcribing words. It's measuring tremors in your voice, your intonation, and even the ambient sounds around you. This can detect signs of stress, fatigue, mental illness, and even subtle shifts in your mood. AI can predict when you're on the verge of a mental breakdown or having a bad day without you ever saying a word about it. And what's more alarming, Apple's private cloud compute might sound secure on paper, but cybersecurity experts are warning that model updates, the encrypted data that's transmitted for processing beyond the device, can still be exploited. We're talking about federated learning, which is supposed to be the epitome of privacy, but even a small error in how models are updated can leave your behavioral profile exposed. And don't forget, these models are constantly being improved and refined. They grow more powerful with time and more accurate at predicting and manipulating your behavior. But the worst part, you never get to see what data is being gathered. You have no way of auditing these neural processes or even understanding what conclusions are being drawn about you. Dr. Norton calls it the black box problem. We don't know how the AI is making these decisions, and we never will because the models are so complex and opaque. Imagine a future where this technology becomes a norm. It could be used not just for smart recommendations or personal assistance, but for manipulating your decisions without your consent. This is where the real danger lies, according to Dr. John McKenna, a leading expert on AI-driven manipulation. He warns that if left unchecked, these devices could become the ultimate tool for psychological influence, shaping everything from your shopping habits to your political views, emotions, and even who you vote for. So, as you sit here reading this, ask yourself, how much do you really trust your phone? So, now that we understand the threat, what could be done about it? Is there any hope for maintaining control over our data and privacy in a world where AI chips are always listening, always watching, and always learning? Let's start with the core problem: empowered AI. These chips, no longer just for simple tasks, are evolving into autonomous decision makers embedded in your pocket. The more capable they get, the less likely it is that we can easily turn them off. But can we fight back? The answer isn't simple, but there are countermeasures emerging in the cybersecurity space. Cybersecurity experts are already working on defensive frameworks to block or limit the capabilities of these chips. A key technique being developed is called AI-based obfuscation. In other words, creating false data trails to confuse AI algorithms. Imagine if your phone couldn't tell if you were happy or anxious because your emotional profile was deliberately scrambled. While not perfect, this could make it harder for AI to draw the personal inferences it needs to manipulate you. For instance, Graphene OS, an Android-based security-focused operating system, aims to sever ties with the most invasive parts of the Android ecosystem, including Google's proprietary services. It replaces them with more secure alternatives, which could reduce the data leakage from federated learning updates. This is a step in the right direction, but it doesn't entirely eliminate the surveillance network because the hardware itself is still capable of creating and processing behavioral profiles. For those who aren't ready to ditch their phones for privacy-centric OS alternatives, Apple and Google have provided some reassurance with privacy modes, features that limit what your phone can track. These on-device privacy features, such as tracking notifications and restricting camera access, are important. However, these measures are still reactive, not proactive. They only address a small part of the problem, essentially giving you illusionary control, while the AI continues learning from your behaviors, whether you like it or not. But the ultimate solution lies in hardware-level intervention. Experts like Dr. Norton advocate for open-source hardware and public audits of AI chips. The idea is to bring transparency to how these chips are analyzing data in real time. We need to demand more accountability from manufacturers, pushing for clear, comprehensible privacy standards and third-party verification of their claims. And then there's the ultimate question. Should these AI chips be allowed to run on our phones at all? What if the trade-off between privacy and convenience was no longer worth it? This is a challenge facing governments, companies, and users alike. What is the true cost of convenience? And at what point do we lose control over our own lives? While there's still no perfect fix, we have the power to begin shifting the conversation, to demand transparency and accountability from companies that create these technologies. Awareness is the first step to changing the narrative, before our phones become the ultimate surveillance tools that know us better than we know ourselves. But here's the kicker. What if it's already too late to stop this? And what if the very AI designed to protect us is already too deeply embedded to fight? Let's pause for a moment and shift gears. We've discussed the technological landscape, but now we need to confront the human cost of the surveillance-driven future. Who is paying the price for all this convenience? And more importantly, where do we draw the line between privacy and public good? At the heart of this issue is the ethical dilemma. Do we sacrifice personal freedom for progress? The advancements brought by on-device AI chips promise us smarter, more efficient lives. But what if those very same technologies are creating digital prisons, where every action, every movement, every word you speak is being analyzed and manipulated? Consider this. You open your phone in the morning, and it already knows your mood. It predicts your needs, whether you're stressed, anxious, or feeling down, and sends you targeted suggestions. Perhaps an ad for a wellness app or a promotional message about a new product that's just what you need. Sounds convenient, right? But what if it's more than that? What if it's not just suggesting products, but nudging you toward decisions you didn't even know you were going to make? This is where the human impact hits hardest. Exploitation of vulnerability. These AI systems can not only predict your emotional state with frightening accuracy, but they also influence your decisions in ways that you might not even notice. It's not just about selling you a product anymore. It's about shaping your thoughts and behaviors. From mental health predictions to financial instability assessments, these chips are building profiles of us that go beyond anything we're consciously aware of. Think about the dark patterns, AI-driven manipulation that is tailored precisely to you. These systems don't just guess at what you want. They know what will make you act, what will keep you engaged, what will make you click, and ultimately, what will make you buy. It's not a game of suggestion. It's a game of control, with you as the unwitting player. But even more insidious is how these inferences can be weaponized. Imagine the political manipulation possible with data this granular. Your AI might know your political leanings based on your behavior, and it might use that to influence how you vote, who you support, or what causes you champion. It could predict when you're most vulnerable to a piece of disinformation and deliver it directly to you at the exact right moment. The ethical dilemma becomes even more complex when you consider government access. As state surveillance tools become more powerful, these same AI systems can be used to track dissent, predict political behavior, or even stifle freedom of speech. The government's ability to access the data produced by these chips, especially in regimes where privacy laws are weak or non-existent, raises chilling concerns about human rights. So where do we stand? Do we continue down the path of unregulated AI surveillance for the sake of convenience and progress? Or do we demand accountability and stop the abuse of these technologies before it's too late? The true cost of these advancements might be our autonomy, our freedom, and our privacy. And the scariest part? We may not even know how much has been taken from us until it's too late. here's where things get wild. We've just scratched the surface, but as we peer into the future, the implications of these on-device AI chips take on a whole new level of complexity. In the coming years, the integration of AI and privacy concerns won't just be a societal challenge. It'll be an existential one. Imagine this. In just a decade, the quantum revolution will disrupt everything we know about cybersecurity. Quantum computing, the game changer that promises to break every encryption algorithm in use today, could render current privacy-preserving strategies obsolete. And with AI already at the center of these systems, the convergence of quantum technology and on-device AI is terrifyingly powerful. Picture a world where AI-powered chips don't just predict your next move. They can calculate and manipulate it in real time, using quantum computing to crack the encryption of your digital life in seconds. They could learn your personal vulnerabilities, influence your decisions, and remotely alter your behavior before you even realize it happening. It's not just about what you do. It's about who you become. The evolution of these AI chips will only become more invasive. The next generation of smartphones will likely run on AI hardware, so advanced, they'll be able to map your brain's patterns. By reading not just your keystrokes, but your neural responses, your phone could become an extension of your mind, predicting your every thought, guiding your every decision. This isn't science fiction. It's where we're headed, and it's closer than you think. And here's the kicker. Who owns the data generated by these advanced AI systems? The companies who built these chips, or the governments who may seize control when the technology reaches a point of no return? Once AI starts making decisions for us, the lines blur between who is in charge of your future, you or the machine. In this quantum age, privacy may become an illusion, and these systems will evolve into omniscient entities with the ability to predict, control, and influence our lives in ways we cannot even imagine. So, what does this mean for you? For us, the question we must ask is this. Can we regulate these technologies before they become too powerful, or are we simply riding a wave that we can no longer control? If AI and quantum computing join forces, will our digital twins become our digital overlords? The next frontier isn't just about privacy. It's about freedom, identity, and control of the most intimate aspects of who we are. So, we've traveled deep into the dark corners of these on-device AI chips. And if anything is clear, it's this. The future isn't just coming. It's already here, silently shaping the way we live, think, and interact with the world around us. But here's the real question. What do we do about it? The power of these devices, the influence they already have over our lives, the choices they're making for us without us even realizing. It's all happening right now. This is the moment we must act. If we're going to maintain any control over the future of our digital lives, it starts with demanding transparency. We need more than just privacy labels and corporate assurances. We need to push for regulations that hold tech giants accountable for the hidden surveillance they've embedded in their devices. We need policies that demand visibility into how these devices make decisions, how they predict our behavior, and most importantly, who has access to our digital twins, because trust is no longer a given. But it doesn't stop there. We, as users, need to take back control. Start by being more informed about what these AI chips are really doing. If your device is constantly collecting, analyzing, and predicting your actions, it's on you to demand accountability. Start opting for more transparent, privacy-focused alternatives, even if it means sacrificing a few conveniences. And finally, remember, we cannot afford to ignore the incredible potential of these AI systems. Yes, they're powerful. Yes, they have risks. But with the right ethics, the right frameworks, and the right societal shifts, AI could be the tool that helps us solve some of the world's greatest challenges. Climate change, global health crises, the energy crisis. The possibilities are endless, but we need to decide how we want to use this incredible power. As we look to the future, one thing is certain. The stakes are high. The choices we make today, the conversations we have now, will determine whether we are driven by technology or if we can finally regain control of the tools we've created. And so, here at Cyber Shield Hub, our legacy is clear. We're not just reporting on the future. We're helping you shape it. Together, we'll navigate this digital revolution, ensuring that your future is not just smart, but safe, secure, and yours to control.